KRML, the locals radio station for the Monterey Bay. Jeff White with you. It's around 2:45, which means it's time to check in for Meals and Feels, brought to you by Meals on Wheels of the Monterey Peninsula. I've got another Jeff with me today, coming back for round two, so I'm glad I didn't scare you off the first time, man.
You did not.
Well, glad to have you in here. How long have you been volunteering with Meals on Wheels?
About 2.5 years, coming up on 3 years. So, yeah.
How did you get involved?
You know, I have told this story on air before, so I don't want to bore anybody, but I had a job exit that was before I wanted it to be, and I was feeling sorry for myself a little bit and saw a Meals on Wheels sign on a car drive by, and I thought, I'm going to do that. And then as soon as I started volunteering, I realized that my calling was not corporate America anymore, and I just stuck with it. So it's been ever since.
2.5 years ago.
I am retired.
You are retired, quotation marks. Well, doing it 2.5 years, I mean, that's some time put in. How do you feel like being a volunteer with Meals on Wheels has changed you?
I think it really suited me. It would kind of fit into my, kind of my ideals for life in terms of wanting to give something back to the community, wanting to participate in some way, and feeling an affinity for people that are lonely, people that don't necessarily have somebody to talk to. For whatever reason, it just kind of fit the bill. As I've gotten older, I've leaned heavily into my introvert side. There's probably people that knew me when I was younger that thought, no way, this guy's an extrovert only. But it's an opportunity to give back. It's an opportunity to connect. So I substitute. I'm always on a different route. So I don't have the advantage of developing deep rapport with clients, people that we deliver to, like some of the folks that have regular routes. But I just get so much exposure to the kindest, nicest, people and people that likely in a lot of parts of their life, as you get old, I like to say I'm new at this getting old thing. I'm an old teenager. But I think you become invisible sometimes. Like people just forget that you're a person. You have all this life experience and you have a lot to offer. And some people want to be left alone and just, take the food, say thank you. But most people are so incredibly gracious. I let the folks decide if they want to talk or have a conversation. And you can get into everything from music to sports to sometimes politics. Every once in a while it goes, somebody will talk about politics and religion, and I got to remind them we're not allowed to do that. But
sports and music are tried and true. I say that all the time. Those two things you can find so often is common ground.
Yeah,
almost
absolutely.
Always. Yeah,
absolutely. And the commonality is we're human, right? I mean, no matter how you get through it, there's some folks that maybe have some sharper opinions or ideas about life or the world, and these are unprecedented times we keep hearing about, but to be able to focus on something so simple, bringing food to somebody. I mean, is there anything more basic than that? This community is supported pretty well by Meals on Wheels, and Meals on Wheels does an incredible job supporting the community. They've expanded the territories. There's more places to deliver. The only route that I refuse to do anymore because it drives me nuts is the Carmel by the Sea. I can't do no addresses. I think
that's going to change.
Yeah, it is eventually. I don't know if that'll help anybody but the ambulance drivers and me, but that's the only route that I stay away from just because it is a struggle. It's the only time I've ever been frustrated delivering Meals on Wheels. But other than that, it's like these folks, they'll comment on my new shoes. There's these people, they'll tell me how handsome I am. I don't know about you, Jeff. I don't hear that, 14 times a day on a regular basis. But when I do the route, so, those would be some selfish reasons. But it's an opportunity to give, and it's something that gives back while you're giving. And I think that's kind of rare in this world.
I agree. And from the stories that I've heard from you and some of the other folks we've had in here, it's a simple service, bringing a meal, but the ripple effect of giving those people connection and dignity. But then also for you, the volunteers get as much, if not more, out of it.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we need in these fast-paced times that, as you mentioned, are unprecedented and polarizing and divisive. Well, when you get in these situations, there's no room for that. Yeah. We're just people,
I agree. And, look, I'm fortunate. I'm in a situation where I can be retired and I can volunteer and do this. And I'm just thinking about folks that can't. I mean, what can you do? You can talk to people. You can say, hey, can I grab that shopping cart for you? There's other ways to give back in your community.
Little things
that I think have a big impact. And it's something that I try and focus on. I mean, I'm not trying to be better than anybody else. I'm trying to be the best me I can be. That's what I'm trying to do. And I don't know if this is the last third of my life or how we do that. Like I said, I'm new at this getting old thing, but this part of it has been a very, very positive experience for me. I like the folks at Meals on Wheels. All of the folks are very welcoming when you come in and you pick up your route for the day and you pick up the meals, and it's just a very positive, supportive environment. I haven't had one negative experience other than searching for a house in Carmel by the Sea that's impossible to find.
Well, that speaks volumes right there. Well, I appreciate your story. I appreciate the time that you put forth for this. You are making a huge difference in this community, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you.
Thank you. It's a joy.
Well, and if people are interested, you can find out how you can get involved at mowmp.org. Jeff, hopefully I'll see you again here soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jeff.
That's Meals and Feels, brought to you by Meals on Wheels of the Monterey Peninsula. We do it every Tuesday around 2:45. We'll be right back after a few words from some local folks who believe the local radio works here on KRML. KRML.